All right. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome. It's Stephen Dunn with CORE Therapy and Pilates, and welcome to our Mindful Movement Monday class. And today we have Megan teaching, and what you'll need for class is a chair to sit in and actually a mat. So some will be sitting and some will be laying on the mat.
So today we are going to talk about the pelvic floor and the pelvic wall and how to find that, how to strengthen, and certain exercises where we can feel like we're finding that pelvic floor in. So I have just got a pelvis right here, and I just wanted to show you all where that pelvic wall is actually at and what we want to feel like we're lifting. So we have this little purple slinky here, and I'm just going to show you that we're putting that purple slinky right about in the center of the pelvis right there. And I'm giving you this visualization because what I want you guys to feel is that we're pressing down into the sitz bones, and we're actually going to lift that pelvic wall like the slinky is, like we're lifting up. We don't want to squish that slinky in together. We want to find that it can, that it doesn't get stuck, and it's just lifting directly up. So everyone is on their chair, and I think the chair is the easiest way to feel this and find this. So we're going to get nice and tall on our chair. We want to feel like our feet are firmly planted into the ground, and that our sitz bones are pressing in to the chair that we're seated on. So we're just going to start by doing a couple deep belly breaths. So everyone, I just want you to take a deep breath into the belly. And on the exhale, I want hot air coming out of the back of the throat, like you're fogging a mirror, or that you're making the verbal ha sound. Good. So a deep breath into the belly. And exhale. And let's do one more, just to kind of finalize where that breath is at. So deep breath in. And exhale from the diaphragm. Okay, so now you guys just keep breathing, and I'm going to talk through, and I want you guys to feel that pelvic wall activation. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our inhale. On our exhale, we're going to push all the air out from our diaphragm as we feel like we're pulling that slinky up towards the middle of the ribs. So we're going to take an inhale into the belly. And on our exhale, all of the air is coming out of our diaphragm to create space to find that lift of the pelvic floor. And let's do a couple more, guys. Taking a deep breath in. And exhale, finding the lift. I don't want you guys to feel like we are trying to jam those sitz bones together, but that we are finding that deep, deep internal lift. So again, it's just kind of coming right through the center of the sitz bones that we want to feel those drawing up and in. Does everyone feel like you've got a little bit of a connection and some awareness to it? So now I'm going to have everybody go ahead and stand up. So we're just going to take our chairs and we're going to move them off the mat, off to the side. So I wanted to practice finding this pelvic floor activation in a couple different planes. So we're first going to start with standing and just basic squats. So everyone, I want you to take an inhale, and we're going to press into our heels and squat down. And on that exhale, I want you to press into those heels and find that lift coming up through the center. So we inhale as we squat down, and then finding that deep internal lift as we extend the legs and come back to straight. Let's do two more, guys. So inhale, we're gonna squat down, find that lift. So you can also feel like you're lifting your bladder, or that you're pulling a marble from your root all the way up to the diaphragm. And then really find that deep lift as we extend the legs. Okay, guys. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to drop down to the floor and up. And I want you again to find that connections with the sitz bones into the ground. Also want to feel like you can really support yourself from your feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take an inhale at the top. And then as we exhale, we're going to start by lifting that pelvic wall and rolling down. I don't want you to get compressed in those ribs and just sag, but that we're keeping our ribs away from the pelvis as we roll back. When you get to the bottom, I want you to go ahead and take an inhale. And on the exhale, we're gonna find that deep internal lift again. Press into the heels as we roll up. So again, we're keeping that space that we've just created as we've rolled up. We're gonna take an inhale at the top. Let's do this again, exhale. We're gonna press our sits bones into the ground, still feeling that connection with the feet, finding that lift, and the ribs are away from the pelvis. Good. When we get to the bottom, go ahead and take a breath of air. And then exhale as we find that deep internal lift. And we're gonna roll up by finding that connection into the back body. All right, okay guys, now we're gonna take this and we're gonna find it in a quadruped position. So I want everybody to get on their hands and on their knees. Good. So let's just find it right here in this position before we start doing the hand movements. So we're gonna take an inhale. And on that exhale, I want you to find that deep lift. And again, it's gonna feel like that belly button is kind of drawing closer to the spine. And I don't want you to feel like you're arching your back or you're curling your back, but rather you're finding that internal lift. It's like you're kind of pulling the bladder up in towards the body. And then we exhale and release. Okay, so on this next one, guys, we are going to take, we're gonna take an inhale. On our exhale, we're going to lift off our left hand and our right foot so that we're in, so exhale, finding that pelvic floor, and we're extending. Finding through opposition, stabilization is coming through the pelvic floor and the core, and then go ahead and drop those arms and legs back down and find the other side. So take an inhale to begin, and then exhale as we float that right hand and that left foot back, finding that stabilization coming from the core. Good? And then go ahead and come back in. Let's do one more time on each side. So take an inhale. On that exhale, we're finding lifting as the legs are extending. Good, and coming back to center. And last one. Good. And holding for a second, and then slowly bringing our legs and feet to touch the mat. Okay, guys, just one more final little thing. We're gonna have a seat. Actually, let's sit back on our chairs for this one. So this one, we're just gonna find that pelvic wall and we're gonna hold for about 5 seconds. And you can do this a couple times a week, and it should help you with kind of keeping some of that pelvic floor strength. So again, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, we're gonna find those sits bones so you can rock around side to side. You can take those hands and you can spread your cheeks, feeling like we're really pressing down into them. We're gonna take an inhale. On the exhale, we push down into the sits bones as we lift that pelvic floor. When you feel like that pelvic wall is engaged up and around the diaphragm, hold for 5 seconds. So keep trying to breathe and maintain that contact. And then go ahead and relax and release. Let's try to find that again. Deep breath in. And exhale as we push our sits bones down. Find that internal lift and hold. And release. Good job, guys. And last one. So taking a deep breath in. Good. Exhale. Getting those ribs down to create space to find that internal lift. And relax. Okay, guys, thank you everyone for participating. Click in the comments below if you have any questions or want more information. Thanks, we hope you have a great day.